Disappointed but not surprised. Disappointed but not surprised. Disappointed but not surprised.
Welcome back to another week of the fuckery. We're your disappointed but not surprised co-hosts. I'm Alex.
I'm Addie.
And we're back.
Woo! I felt like we keep on saying that we've been on a hiatus and then we're back. And then like 4 weeks later we record another and then we're like, wait, we're back.
I know. Well, we're back for good
We're
this
back
time.
for good this time. We've been slacking.
Well, we've been busy though.
Yo, we've been so fucking busy. And honestly, guys, we're not getting paid for this. So if we get sponsors, then we'll keep on entertaining you guys every single week.
Exactly.
So mission, get Addie and Alex paid. Pay disappointed but not surprised.
Tell your friends, promote the shit out of us.
Pay us. We'll send you titty pictures.
Yeah, we'll
back.
do something for you.
No, we've been the biggest slackers lately in the world. We had summer and we kind of go on a hiatus every single summer just because
We want to do things.
we want to do things and the beach or whatever. And then we got back and like September hit and my coworker got paralyzed.
Yeah.
Which I talked about in the last episode where he said he was paralyzed and then he decided that he's not paralyzed anymore. And now all of a sudden, like he's fine, but he thought he was paralyzed because he was on morphine, but now he's home. He's not in the ICU anymore. And then he just never showed up to work
Then he
again.
was in the psych ward.
Then he was in the psych ward. Then he was in rehab.
Right.
Then he got in a car accident. And it's just one fucking
Yeah.
excuse after another with this fucking loser. So I don't work with him anymore. But then it was like I was at work for 3 weeks straight, no days off, bell to bell. So we didn't record then. And then right after that, I
went to bartending school for 2 weeks every night, 6 to 10.
Right. So we didn't record then. And then I just got back from vacation in Mexico. And so now we're here.
Yay.
Welcome back to another week of fuckery, guys. Now we're back. We're better than ever. We're going to have some regular Claude episodes on again. And cheers to the rest of this fucking year.
How was your trip?
My trip was so fucking amazing.
I'm
Guys,
jealous.
I started dating a guy in like July who is just so fucking fantastic. And you know, like we went on a trip and it's kind of soon, like it was 4 months in and we took a trip to Mexico, but I'm a traveler. He's a traveler. And
like you know him through a mutual friend, so it's not like you're going with this random dude you met off the internet and we didn't know if you were going to come back or not.
Right. Like you didn't feel like you didn't have to put trackers on me or anything. No. Well, like I would have been fine. I was fine. He's so
You
safe.
didn't see me in the bushes down there?
With a beard and a wig on.
Yep.
No, it was so fucking amazing. We literally, like, I feel like our relationship was like solidified on that trip because you go away with people
Oh my God.
and you don't know
You're
who
either
they
doomed
are.
or like
It's like make or break.
It
And
really
this
is.
made us like at the end of the trip. I was like, is this one of your top 5 trips? And he's like, Addie, it was the top trip I've ever had in my life. And I was like, oh my God, that's so amazing. And so he's like, this really made me say like, I'm in, like I'm all in this relationship.
Yeah.
But like a little part in the back of my head before we went away was like, what if he's not who I thought he was? What if this relationship is like, because we see each other, we're very spotty where we see each other. I work all the time and he travels for work.
Right.
So he's been away since Monday. It's Thursday. He's home for a few hours. He's leaving again until Monday. Like he travels. So sometimes we only see each other once a week and he'll get off a flight and come over and stay the night. And then I'm off to work and it'll be like 11 o'clock at night. And then I'm out the door at 9 o'clock the next morning for work.
Right.
So we'll literally have sleepovers and that's it. We don't have like a lot of like,
So it's a lot of
true
together time.
Yeah.
And you don't know how like you're going to be. Plus a lot of people I've noticed get stressed the fuck out when they travel.
Oh my God.
And they turn into like a fucking maniac.
Well, I went away with one of my friends a couple of years ago and there was 4 of us and I didn't talk to one of my friends for like almost a year after the trip and she's like one of my best bitches. Like,
Yeah.
I love her. And we had been friends for what, 6 years previous, hanging out all the time. We traveled together. I pushed her up against a fucking wall. I was like, shut the fuck up, like screamed in her face.
Yeah.
We told her, you're not allowed to come with us on the rest of the trip. Like, we made her stay back at the hotel while we went on excursions for the rest of the vacation because she was so poorly behaved. Her behavior was so disgusting. It's not even funny. And like, it's really funny too, because that's around the time that Frozen came out. And like, she was just yelling and screaming in the fucking area where we were all like paddleboarding. And I was like, shut the fuck up, bro. Just let it go. Because she's like, nobody's listening to me complain. So then the paddleboard guy starts screaming like, let it go, let it go. And then like everybody around the pool area is screaming like, let it go.
Oh, she
let it
probably
go.
flipped
She
it.
flipped. She flipped. And we're all like, let it go. So then I hate that song, by the way. So then I like was like laughing at that and she was getting even more mad. And then we were like, dude, you're not welcome with us on the rest of the voyages. Like, you have to stay back. We ended up thinking that like she relapsed on booze on that trip because she's sober. And then she was like, fine, I'll just find my own ride home then. I guess I'll change my flights. And so I'm not on the same flight with you. And I'm like, get over yourself. I'll drive you home. I just don't want to talk to you again for like 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
And I literally didn't talk to her for like a while afterwards. And then another friend on that trip was such a cheap fucking bitch that we all were splitting everything 4 ways. We all got the same thing. We all got like lobster one night. We all don't drink. So it's
Right.
not like she's like, I'm boozing it up and she doesn't, or vice
Right.
versa. Like, it's the same fucking meal. So we ended up getting a dessert to share, and she's like an anorexic fucking dick. I hate her because that's besides the point. But she's like so fucking like neurotic with her food that she's like, I had 1 bite of dessert, so I'm only gonna pay for like 1/16 of that dessert, and you guys are gonna pay for the rest. So I'm gonna put in $3 less than you guys are.
What an asshole.
I look at her like,
That
you're
would piss me
kidding?
off more than the freaking whatever
Let
the
it
other
go?
one was doing.
Like, what a cheap fuck.
Yeah, I don't get that.
So I'm like, I can't travel with her again either. Like,
No.
some people are just
No.
meant to see once every 2 months for like dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like a concert or something, but like being with that person up their asses that many days in a row.
I just don't think you truly know someone until you travel with them.
Right.
People's behaviors are different when they travel. Like, I was friends with this girl for fucking years, best friends.
Yeah.
We went away together. I have not spoken to her since.
Yeah.
And that was in 2013.
You guys literally had the fight of your life and you broke up after that.
Yeah, literally.
Over a phone
Because-
charger.
Over the fucking phone charger. First of all, so she like had all these family issues going on and she was under a lot of pressure, and I get that. And I saw her behavior towards other people before we even went on the trip, how she would talk to other people and how she would treat them. And like, I wasn't cool with it, but like, she wasn't doing it to me type of thing. So I was
Yeah.
just like, whatever. She wasn't originally going to come on the trip because there was a ton of people going for a music conference down in Miami. And she originally wasn't going, but she wanted to. Her and her boyfriend couldn't scrape the money together to come. She was really upset one night. So our other friend that we were going with, me and her were sharing a room. And I said, do you care if so-and-so and her boyfriend stay with us in the room? It's already paid for. And then they could just pay for their own parties to go out to and stuff. And she was like, that's fine. So, cause like I was in college at the time. This girl that I was friends with, she's a little older than me. She helped me out. Like when I didn't have money to go out, she would pay for me. Like, so like I kind of felt like whatever, the room was already paid for anyways.
Yeah.
So I tell her, she's so excited. They come down and the first night we're there, she ends up beating the shit out of her boyfriend.
She like beat the fuck out of him,
Beat
right?
the shit out of him. He had burst blood vessels in his eyes to the point we were pre-gaming in our room, and that we had dudes in there, thank God, like our guy friends, and they had to like rip her off of him.
And what was the reason? It was like nothing. It's not like he cheated or anything.
Dude, I couldn't even tell you. It was nothing.
It was so insignificant.
It was, yeah, it was probably the stupidest thing. He probably like accidentally hit the light switch or something.
Yeah.
Like, she just went buck wild. So then, basically there was a guy down there that I was like talking to, like we hooked up a few times, went on a few dates, and I was hanging out with him when we were down there. He kept being like, oh, come to this party with me, like paying for all of us to go to lunch because he had money. And he was like paying for us to go to all these parties and stuff. And she had no problem with that. Her and her boyfriend were on the gravy train having a grand old time. So that night we all split up, went our separate ways. I went with him out to a club, stayed at his hotel. And then the next day she was texting me like, you better get back to the fucking room. Your friend is sick. The girl who I was originally going with, she got like food poisoning from like the room service.
Oh my God.
So she's puking in the bathroom. So I'm like, oh, all right, I'll be right there. So he comes with me. And then I go in the room. The one girl's throwing up. The girl that's psycho is tearing the room apart, like throwing my suitcase everywhere, like dumping shit out. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, where's my phone charger? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't take it. Long story short, she accused the guy that I was hanging out with of taking the phone charger. He goes, sweetheart, number one, we don't even have the same phone. Why would I take your phone charger?
Right.
Number two, just so you calm down, I'll go to the store right now and buy you one.
It's $5 for
Literally,
a
you could go to 7-Eleven and get one.
Right.
So she was like, no, it's not the point. Going crazy. Then she goes in the shower. We're sitting in the room waiting for our friend that was throwing up to get ready so we could get the fuck out of there. We hear her in the shower, like talking to herself, like, I should kill them. And like,
Stop.
swear to
I don't
God.
know about this part.
Yeah, she's like, I should kill them. All this stuff, like saying crazy things. The three of us are looking at each other. Her boyfriend's sitting in the corner. He's still up her fucking asshole after she gave him a black eye and bursted blood vessels in his face.
She must have gave him great head or like crazy great pussy.
Yeah, he was like obsessed with her.
To be that whipped.
And she was so mean to him. Oh my God. She would be at work and be like, bring me cigarettes or I'm never speaking to you again. And he'd like leave his job and almost get fired to bring her like cigarettes.
It's kind of funny though.
Because people are so stupid.
They're so stupid.
So basically after that, like she cursed me out because I was like, she comes out of the shower. I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? So now my friend that we were with is like, don't fight. Because she thought we were going to like literally like fist fight and tear each other's.
She's like puking in the bathroom still.
And like tear each other's heads off because I was ready to like,
beat her
I knew
ass.
she was going to come at me like physically and I was ready to fucking stomp her ass out. So not to be ghetto or anything, but like I was ready for it. So whatever, we end up screaming at each other. The guy's like separating us. Her boyfriend's holding her back. They drag us apart. Her and her boyfriend end up leaving our room. I think I don't remember, but something. Anyway, we didn't have to see them the rest of the trip. So the last day, me and the girl are like packing up our room, and the psycho's suitcase was still in there. God knows why. But she ends up like lifting up the psycho girl's suitcase to make sure nothing was under there. There was the fucking phone charger. Mm-hmm. So it was under her suitcase the whole time, and she was accusing everybody else of taking it. So she said some really like fucking foul things to me on that trip. So I was just like, I'm done with this bitch. Like you can be mad about something, but like you're just like throwing low blows at me. Mind you, I gave her $500 before we went on the trip to bail her brother out of jail.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even have to do, but I knew she didn't have the money. And she was calling me the worst friend ever and this and that and all this shit. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I used to do a lot for her family too. It's a fucked up, it's like a complicated story. I won't even get into it, but whatever. So she was saying some like low, dirty, foul fucking things to me. So I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to talk to this bitch. Like, that's it. She didn't stay in our room. We packed our shit. We went to the Fontainebleau to hang out before we went to the airport. We had our shit with us. I get a text message from her. She goes, yo, you still driving me home?
Fuck you.
From like the airport, because my mom drove us and was picking us all up. So I'm like, no, you could find a ride.
Good.
So she was like, fuck you, you cunt, this and that. Like, went buck wild again. She's like, where are you right now? I'm like, none of your business. Like, what are you gonna do? Come like kick my ass?
Come and kick mine and my mom's ass
Right,
for not
yeah.
driving you home?
So whatever, we ended up like going home from the trip, and I didn't speak to her because I was like, fuck
You
no.
were done.
Yeah, I was like, she owes me an apology. Like, I saw her do that to other people, but not to me, because I was a good ass fucking friend to her. So, like 2 weeks later, I'm sitting at work because I remember I ran to
You
your
were both in
office
there,
and I
yeah.
was like, oh my God, listen what this bitch just said to me. Because she texts me and goes, I'm not the only one that needs to apologize here.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck you, block. Because what did I do? I literally did nothing. You were accusing the dude I was with of stealing your phone charger, then saying you were going to like kill us all, strangle us. Like,
Over a phone charger that was sitting under her suitcase.
exactly.
Well, you should have found the phone charger sooner, and then it wouldn't be your fault.
Yeah, and then she like stole the other girl that we were
Phone
staying with.
charger.
No, there were sandals, her like expensive ass sandals, and like we were like, where are her? Do you have her sandals? Because like I had the girl's jacket because she left it in my mom's car when she drops us off at the airport, and then I was like, well, I'll give you the jacket if you give so and so back her sandals, and she's like, I threw those over the balcony at the hotel,
What
and
a
I was like,
bitch.
yeah, and I was like, I guess you're not getting your jacket back then. And then her boyfriend shows up at my fucking house one day asking for the jacket. And he's like, please, Alex, please. I just don't want any more problems. And I'm like, you are a fucking pussy. And I threw the jacket at him. And he's like, I just want to bring you and the other girl we were with out for drinks and talk to you because this is crazy. I was like,
It's crazy that you're staying with this bitch.
well, because then I guess she like handed him his ass on the way home again. I don't know, because they switched their flights and didn't even come home on our flight.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was like my friend that I was in St. Martin with. She goes, I guess I'll get on another flight. I guess I'll find my own way home.
See
Like,
ya.
don't be stupid.
Exactly.
And, you know, she didn't even do anything that bad. She was just complaining the whole trip. I have to work. I shouldn't be on here. Well, why are you here?
Then why did you come?
The other girl won't listen to me complain. I just want to vent. It's like nobody wants to hear you complain. We're on a trip. But she went crazy with me another time, the same girl. So that's why I'm like, I love her to
Yeah.
death, but I will never travel with her. Do you remember the Flow Rider concert?
Yeah.
It's like the same fucking story about you and that fucking crazy bitch. I went to a Flow Rider concert with the same girl that I will never travel with ever. And again, I love her. We're still friends, but like sometimes I need a year away from her to recoup my feelings and like space, because her behavior, the only way I could describe it is like Cam from Modern Family when he goes on like those freakouts and he's like fucking dramatic. She's like a dramatic gay man that like bugs the fuck out over the dumbest shit. So we were 15 minutes late to a Flow Rider concert. 15 minutes late because I got stuck at work.
And anybody that knows Addie knows there's a 95% chance that
I'm
she's
late.
getting stuck at work.
More like a 99% chance.
I was being generous.
You were being generous with 98. More like 100% chance.
Yeah.
I'm never getting out of work on time.
No.
Ever in my life. So we show up 15 minutes late to a Flow Rider concert.
Which is not bad.
And it's fucking Flow Rider.
I know, like calm down.
Like, calm down. It's not like we're
you didn't want to see Lil Bow Wow as the opener. Whoever the fuck.
It's at Jones Beach. So I end up like not wanting to wear my work pants to the Flow Rider concert. I had to get a little hood. So I changed into jeans in the car because I wanted pockets for my shit. Like I didn't want to bring my huge bag into a fucking Flow Rider concert.
Yeah, of course not.
So she's like, hurry the fuck up. You're always doing this. You're late for everything. And it's like, you guys know I'm late for everything. So just deal with it. Like we knew we were going to be late for this concert.
But the thing is, it's like if you were late because you were like taking a shit and taking your sweet ass time getting out of the house, that's a different story. But you always get stuck at work.
I'm at work. Like, sorry, I don't want to be stuck at fucking work. Like, I don't want to be at work right now, but I have work to do. So we end up getting to the fucking concert. She's banging on my horn, leaning over my fucking seat because people in front of us weren't driving at the speed that she wanted them to. I'm like, bro, we're going to get shot right now.
I hate when people do that. When
I
they
was like,
honk
we were going to get shot at that concert.
Yeah, when people honk the horn for me, like I'm capable of doing it if I feel necessary.
It's at a Jones Beach concert.
Right.
It's not that serious. It's really
and like what do you want people speeding through the aisles where people are like sitting out tailgating?
like calm the fuck down. If you want to go into the concert, go in the concert and I'll meet you in there. So then I changed into jeans because I want pockets. So she's banging on the window, screaming at me like, hurry the fuck up. You're so fucking selfish. Blah, blah, blah. Like screaming. And I'm like, whoa, like this bitch has to come down. So I get out of the car and she's like, you're such a selfish bitch, blah, blah, blah. You know, you do this to everybody. You're the worst friend in the world because I changed into jeans.
And can we just talk about the fact that
We're
this
going
is
to
for
Flow Rider.
Flow Rider?
We're going to Flow Rider. Like, it's not that
Like
serious.
it's Flow Rider. It is not the Backstreet Boys.
So then...
Because if it was, I'd be screaming too.
So then I'm like, yo, you need to calm the fuck down right now. Meanwhile, there's a circle surrounding us thinking that we're gonna brawl because she's screaming at me like, you're a selfish bitch. You're the worst fucking friend. And I was like, if you keep this up, I'm not going in this fucking concert with you. I was like, go in yourself. So finally I said, you know what? Fuck you. I said, go in the fucking concert yourself. I'm not going in there with you until you calm the fuck down. So I get back in the car. She's following me. She's screaming at me. She goes, you know what, bitch? She goes, you're nothing but a drug addict junkie cunt.
Oh my God.
And I turn and I said, we're done here. I was so calm about it. I said, we're fucking done. Meanwhile, she got dropped off at from the airport to my job. To go straight to the concert. So she had her suitcase in the car.
Was her cell phone charger under it?
No, it wasn't. So she's like, fuck you. She's like, I'm going in myself. I said, fine. So I'm in my car waiting for her. She grabs her suitcase out of my car, her little roller. She tries to bring her suitcase into the concert.
And they probably thought it was like bombs.
Yeah, but they don't let her in the concert
of course
with the suitcase. They're like, ma'am, you can't come into the concert with a suitcase.
She wants to put Flow Rider in it.
Yeah. So I ended up calling her husband. I said, your wife is a psycho fucking bitch. And I was like, and I'm not going in the concert with her. And I said, and she has her suitcase, so they're not letting her in. I said, so you have to come and get her because she's not getting in her car with me. I said, so call me when you're here. And he's like, okay. So he had to come and get her. And
you were nice enough to even stay
and
because I probably would have sped the fuck off.
Well, I'm not going to do that. So I stayed in the parking lot for like another half an hour or so until he came and got there. And the whole text ride home, she's yelling at me, like screaming at me via text. And then just like your friend, 2 weeks fucking later, it was the apology text. But it's like, but you blah, 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 blah,
right.
blah.
It's not an apology if you're going to say but.
Right.
You're not speaking on what I did. You're speaking for yourself, and
Well,
you're supposed to be fucking apologizing.
What did you and I really do? You did nothing.
And you put on jeans.
I put on jeans. I literally changed into jeans in the back seat of my fucking car, which took all of what? A minute?
Right.
1 minute?
If that.
So now instead of being 15 minutes late to a Flow Rider concert, we were 16 minutes late. Mind you, it's a Flow Rider concert.
I know.
So like traveling with her again will never fucking happen. It like
We travel together fine.
You know, and it's funny because when we went away, like I always knew we'd be fine together, and it's just like with my boyfriend, like I knew we'd be fine together, but it's still always like that was like when we went to Florida, that was our first, like we've done Atlantic City together, we've done overnights, and we were always fine. Like even that other time where our old friend was like on K and we like left her and we were like, let's just go to the beach and fucking watch these lards like jump into the water, and then this guy started taking pictures of us and it was just fucking weird. But like we are fine together because we're both on the same page, we're both laid back, we're both chill.
It's like easygoing, like what do you want to do? I don't care.
Like,
okay, do you want to do that? Sure.
Yeah, because vacation is about like relaxing, like not a crazy busy schedule. If we want to do something, we'll do it. Nothing's timed. Like it is what it is. And like, I don't know, like that was like with my boyfriend that we had, it was just the most amazing fucking trip. And it was so relaxing and it was so nice. And I needed it because my job has been so crazy lately that it was the best week. It was the best fucking week of the year.
Good.
It was amazing.
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah. And it like kind of solidified our relationship. So
that's
it was good. Yeah. He loved it. I like made him do some things that he like never did before. Like
anal. No, I'm kidding.
I pegged him. No, he wouldn't let me near his ass if I tried.
Good.
I'm like, you might like it. He's like, no. He's like, how about I do yours? I was like, let me do yours first.
Oh my God.
That's always how you get a guy to like, if he like wants to butt fuck you and you don't want it, and you'll be like, well, let me peg you first and then you could peg me. They will
That's a good one.
They will never ask to fuck your ass again.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, I'll do you first and then you could do me. So I always say that to him.
That's a good one.
Right? He's like, my ass is like a farce. You can't get in there. Because it's
hairy.
Oh my
God. So many dingleberry trees.
Yeah. Like, let's not go to the dingleberries.
But no, speaking of dingleberries, that's another thing about people on vacation. Like their fucking hygiene sometimes is terrible.
Speaking of dingleberries, guys.
No, because I was just thinking about that. Like, you ever go on vacation and like you notice that like one person's like not really showering or like living up to their full cleanliness potential?
The bathrooms, like one of my friends, I don't even know what the fuck she does. The water on the floor, the makeup all over the bathroom counter, like the towels everywhere. Like hang up your towel. You don't need to use 8 towels, destroy them all.
Right.
And like
and then I have like the washcloth to like dry my whole body off.
Pretty much.
Because one time I was on a trip with someone and I was getting in the shower after them and I noticed there was no soap or body wash. So I'm like, excuse me, where's the soap or body wash? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, didn't you wash your body? And they were like, oh no, I just rinsed. What? I've never even heard of this. So you just stood under the water and then hopped out? What's the point?
I don't know why I'm laughing so hard at that.
Because it's disgusting. Like,
why wouldn't you just use fucking soap?
It probably takes an extra like 30 seconds. Not even. Just even like use your hand. You don't even have to use a washcloth. Just like get in the crevices, please.
Like, why even bother getting in the shower?
So it's like, and then I start like noticing like, well, where's your toothbrush also? Because that hasn't made an appearance today.
So my boyfriend, the first time he slept over, I was like, it was not the first time he slept over. It was like the second. And we went out to dinner, I think. And I was like I literally came home, showered, brushed my teeth. he's on the couch. Like, he brought a change of clothes, I guess. I think he did, just to like sleep over. And I don't even remember what it was. But I said to him, I was like, I'm gonna brush my teeth. I was like, do you want a toothbrush? And he's like, nah, it's okay. And I'm like, okay. How do you not brush your fucking teeth before bed?
I don't know. One time somebody slept at my house and I offered them a toothbrush in the morning because we were going to like a barbecue and they were getting ready here and they were like, I'm good.
That was my
And I was like,
boyfriend.
but you don't have a toothbrush? Like, I'm just mind blown.
He was like, no, I'm okay. And then like I was like, okay. And then like the next day I said to him, I was like, it was a brand new toothbrush. Like, it was like, you could just have it. He's like, oh, okay. Well, next time I'll take it. And now
What
he's
did
like,
you think you were pulling it out? Like, this is
I
the one
don't
I scrub my
know.
toilet with? Do
Like,
you want to use it?
this is for all the other guys that have slept over before. It's like a reusable fucking
you like
toothbrush.
crossed the name out in the Sharpie?
Like, this month, this guy's using it.
Right.
Like, dude, it's in the fucking wrapper. Like, just please brush your teeth before bed. Like, he did that once and he won't do it again. I'm
Yeah.
like, let's brush our teeth.
Did he even ask you for like mouthwash?
I don't really use mouthwash.
Well, the mouthwash, I would say he could, like, if he didn't want to use the toothbrush because he thought it was used, he could at least use the mouthwash.
no, he was just like, no, I'm good.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. Like, I was like mind blown. I told his sister-in-law the next day, I said, he's fucking gross. He didn't brush his teeth before bed. She goes, ew, break up with him. I was like, I think I might. I do not get people's hygiene sometimes. We're over cleanly though.
We're over cleanly, but I've been noticing lately there's a lot of people that are terrible with their hygiene. Like, go out all night, go into bed, don't shower.
That's disgusting to me. That's what
And
I
I'm
do
talking
in
about
college.
like sweaty ass, like bars, like type shit.
I would do that in college because I'd be too drunk to fucking come home and shower.
Right. But like, how old are we now? Like
36.
Right. And like, yeah, no. Yeah. So one time I was out with a bunch of people and like there was rancid BO and I kept moving away because I was like, where is this coming from? And somebody was like to me, I think it's so-and-so, like somebody that we were with. And I was like, no, because no one I would hang out with would ever fucking smell like that.
That's
so I
disgusting.
thought. So this person's dancing away, having the time of their life, and I like go over to them to like whisper something to them, and I caught the whiff of the onions mixed with dog shit, mixed with congealed throw up from 3 months ago, all in one, and I almost fainted.
That's disgusting.
And I was like, for number one, you don't smell yourself.
How do you not smell yourself if you smell that bad? If I have a little BO, I smell myself and I'm like, all right, like, I guess it's time to like put on deodorant.
Right. Well, yeah. But like this was, it's not like you went to the gym and you have like a little oniony smell to you.
Yeah.
This was like straight up like you have not put on deodorant in 7 years. I was like, honestly, I was offended by
I
it.
actually don't even wear deodorant anymore. How gross is that?
Well, you don't ever smell though.
I never smell.
So if you don't
I
need-
just don't use it.
So if you don't need to, the aluminum's terrible for you.
I just never do it. Like when we were on vacation, I was like, babe, look what I'm doing. And I would like put on deodorant and he'd be like, oh my God, finally. But like, I don't smell normally.
No, you never
it's
do.
Like, he's like, you don't even need it. You never smell. Like I'll put it on if I'm going to the beach all day and I'm sweating or if I'm
Right.
going to like boxing. But that's it.
If I forget, it's not like a big deal for me because I don't
No.
really smell, but like I wear it. But it's like, I don't know, like this, like I was offended. Like you were like smelling like that and like tried to either kill everyone at the place.
Maybe he was trying to kill everyone.
Maybe.
Maybe it was going to be like a fucking mass homicide from like stench.
Well, it almost worked. But like that's like the thing, like what we're saying, like first of all, traveling with people, second of all, like living with people too. Like traveling's just a small dose of what it would be like to live with someone.
Yeah.
So if you didn't like mesh with him with the traveling, I would say like think twice about living
Living
because
with him.
like I don't know. You think you know somebody and then like their little habits are like no.
We were on the same page with everything. It was actually really refreshing. Like everything we did. And I think like even money is a huge aspect when you go away with somebody. And we handled our money the same. Like we were tipping people left and right and our service was fucking fantastic. And I think that speaks a lot about a relationship too. Like what if one person, I don't know, I'm a big tipper. I'm a big tipper. You know that.
Yeah.
And if I was with somebody that was like a cheap fuck, like I could never be with, I don't know. It just doesn't mesh. Like everything was on the same page with us. Like the activities, the leisure, the, you know, like, what do you want to do? Let's just do this. Like the timeline. It just was like super fucking refreshing.
Yeah. My ex, this used to kill me. He used to pack the suitcase the morning of the trip. And I'm like the type of person,
No.
I'm not neurotic, but like when it comes to a trip, like the plane ain't waiting for you.
No, that would drive me nuts.
Yeah. So I'm like, why do you need to pack in the morning? Like, I don't understand. Oh, it'll take 5 minutes. Blah, blah, blah. You're so annoying. But, you know, like one of those things.
He was like doing it to just fucking spite
I think
you
he
at
was
that
just trying to
point.
piss me off. Then, so, oh my God, this was one trip. We actually had a really good time on the trip, but I was literally like 3 seconds away from not going because he had to pack in the morning. Then he kept forgetting things when we're trying to leave, like running back in the house. And I always book the earliest flight possible. I want to fucking get there.
Otherwise, you're wasting your day.
Right. I don't take connecting flights unless I
No.
absolutely have to. Like, I just need to get there.
Right.
So I'd go in the morning. So it's like pitch black out. He keeps running in the house, opening the garage, then having to close it, then open the garage, then I was like fuming, fucking fuming. Then he's like pulling into 7-Eleven. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I need coffee. I'm not going to go drive all the way to the airport without coffee. I'm like, we don't have time.
Yeah.
So he's like, whoa, starts flipping out, goes in the 7-Eleven, gets the coffee. We come out. I'm like, he's like, then he like throws the car in park. He's like, if you're going to have this attitude, we could sit here all day. I'm like,
I would have punched him in
I
the
was
fucking face.
literally 3 seconds away from just getting out of the car and walking back to my house. So whatever, we end up getting there. We have to, we were parking at the long-term parking, so we have to wait for the shuttle.
Yeah.
That takes forever because they're waiting for other people. We finally get there. We were running through the airport. His bag gets pulled off on the security line because he had water bottle in there. Of course. Like, clearly, do you ever fucking travel? Because what the fuck is
Seriously.
wrong with you? So we were running. They were calling our names on the speaker.
That
You
is
know
so
how they do that?
fucking annoying.
And then we get on the plane. I hate those people that hold it up.
Yeah, and
that
it was you.
us.
because of
And
him.
then he's like, see, we made it. I was like, yo.
no.
Thank God, like, assault is illegal because I
You would've
don't-
killed him.
Yeah.
But what's even funnier is you told me that story the first time when we were on our way to fucking Florida together this past March. And you were like,
Yeah.
oh my God. So I parked in this parking spot and remember when he did that. And sure as shit, like 4 hours later, he texted you.
Oh my God, yeah. Out of the blue.
Out of the blue. And he was like, hey, remember that trip that we went on and I made us late and I yelled at you when we got the coffee? He's like, by the way, I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah, like, and I sent it to Addie and I was like,
What the fuck?
he had to be listening somehow in
It was
Florida.
literally like hours later.
Yeah.
And after you told me that back like only this past March. And
Yeah,
when did
and
you go
this-
away with him? Like
that-
4 years ago?
That trip had to be like 5 years
yeah.
ago.
That you were like, holy fuck.
Thank God the rest of the trip was good though, because I was like, if this is any like premonition of like how the rest of the trip is going to be, but we actually had a really good fucking time.
That would
Thank God.
send me packing that morning.
Why? Why?
Well, thank God my man travels for work for a living. So he always gets a coffee the night before and has it sitting in his like car if it's
Yeah.
freezing out or sitting in the fucking house if it's like warm out and he'll have it ready. He packs the night before.
Yeah.
He's rigid as fuck about
Like,
that
I don't
stuff.
mind stopping for the coffee, but you leave 5 minutes early because you
Right.
want to stop for the coffee.
Right.
That's fine.
Right.
like I just can't. My anxiety was like through the fucking roof.
I would have killed him.
I wanted to.
Killed him.
I really wanted to. But other than that, thank God it was fine.
Yeah.
Like we had a fucking blast. But yeah, that I was just like, wow.
So I was telling Alex before of like what a fucking creep I am. I'm a creep.
We both are, so don't feel bad.
We're fucking creeps. So my man pays me because we went to Mexico. So I went and got us pesos before the trip, and I got him at the bank. So we would both have like $1,000 in like, you know, money to spend or whatever. And I transferred it to pesos. So he ended up Venmoing me $1,000, and he's like, I'll just Venmo you the money and then you can go and get it. And I was like, fine. So I found his fucking Venmo, or I didn't found it, but like I saw his Venmo name finally for the first time, and I was like, oh, let me go and browse. So I'm scrolling. Like he's paid his sister at one point. He's paid his like friend for beers. He's paid his brother. Like scrolling. So in 2019, I see this chick. Let's call her
Mavis.
Let's call her Mavis. So Mavis paid boyfriend money, and it's like Italy trip. So this is like maybe like a week before we go away. And then it was like she paid him for something else. It was like a bar emoji. And then she paid him for something else. It was like sunglass face emoji. And I was like, who's this bitch? So later
From
that
2019.
2019. So later that night we're in bed, and I was like, well, when was the last time you went out of the country? And he's like, I don't know, like I was in Costa Rica for work. And I was like, oh, was that like a vacation? And he's like, no, it was for work. It was just a quick overnight. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, I don't know. I was like, I guess in Italy back in like 2019 is when I went out of the country the last time. So I was like, oh, I was like, who'd you go with? And he's like, I don't know. I was like, well, oh, where did you go? And he's like, I went to like Milan and some stuff. And I was like, oh, who'd you go with? Like trying to get it out of him. He's like, I don't know. He's like some girl that I was dating. He's like, I don't know. It was bad. We ended up like breaking up on the trip. We were only dating 3 months. And I was like, oh, Mavis? He just looks at me and he's like, what the fuck?
Imagine you were like, that's my cousin.
Stop. So he's like, what the fuck? I was like, you paid me Venmo. And of course I scrolled through your Venmo account today and saw that you went to fucking Italy with her in 2019. So I had to pry. And I was again, honestly, she's fucking plain looking. He's like, you looked at her Facebook? I was like, of course I looked at her Facebook.
Duh.
I was like, she's got the kid. He's like, she doesn't have a kid, that's her niece. And I was like, oh, whatever. She's got a kid in her pictures. I said, she's fucking boring looking and I'm so much hotter than she is. He goes, well, I know you are. And I was like, so then of course I'm like prying. I'm like, what happened on the trip? And he's like, she was a wallflower. I was like, I don't know. I was like, well, why did you go to Italy with somebody after dating them for 3 months? Like, I'm so fascinated about this. But then again, we've only been dating 4 months and we went to Mexico.
I feel like it's different because like Mexico, like if you're sick of his ass, you can just go off and like lay on the beach or like go to the spa. I don't know. Like Italy, I feel like you're sightseeing. I don't know.
I would have gone to Italy with him 4 months in. That's how close we are.
But like they obviously didn't have the best of a relationship.
They didn't. And
exactly.
I was like, why
so
the fuck did you even go with her to Italy after 4 months? He's like, I don't know. I think she used me for a trip because he flies for free in his business. But I was like, fucking dying. He's like, you're such a fucking creep. And I was like, I know.
Oh, I do the same shit. I saw somebody's name pop up on Venmo the other day paying a girl and I was like, who this bitch? So of course I stalked I can't find out any information yet. So
Give me a little bit, I'll find out.
more to come. Okay, I'll give you the name.
Well, I hate not being in the know. Like, even the other day, I was getting a facial from my facialist, and I love my facialist. Like, we're friends. Like, we text. We haven't like hung out outside of the facial thing, but we'll chat. And I get a facial every month, so when I'm there, she knows all about me. I know all about her. She just started. So she's telling me she just started seeing this guy. And she's telling me all about him. Like, he owns a construction company, and he just got out of a relationship with this girl who is kind of like an influencer. But the guy, like, he basically like wasn't into her anymore because they would go away and they would try to have like a nice trip with gurneys together. And sure as shit, she didn't want to do anything activity wise. All she wanted to do was take hours of pictures and posting the pictures. And it's like, dude, those influencers suck. They suck at life.
Oh, yeah.
Their entire life revolves around a fucking photo in their feed and their persona. It's crazy. Like, I looked back at the pictures. We were together for a week and we barely took any pictures.
I have barely any pictures from when I go on vacation.
Because we're in the moment.
Right. I never take pictures. I always forget to take pictures. Like, I feel like the people I'm the closest with, I have the least pictures
You and
with.
me, we have no fucking pictures
none.
together.
None.
Because we're always doing things.
Exactly. And we're not thinking, oh, let's stop and take a picture. Like, no.
No.
Plus, we hate how we look in every
we
single
look
one
like
we take.
gremlins in pictures. No, me and him, we barely took, like, he took a bunch because he's a big picture person for like his family. Like, his family was asking for them and whatever. And like, so then like at dinner, like we would take some pictures together, but like we barely took any. So this girl, the entire trip, she would take pictures and like, I don't know, she's telling me all about this new relationship that she's in. And so like, and I know all about them because of what she's telling me and how now she's dating him and she feels a little inadequate because the other girl was so hot, but she's more in depth than the other girl was. And I was like, oh, what's his name? She goes, oh, I can't tell you.
Fuck
And
that.
I'm like, bitch. So I fucking go home. I stalk her Instagram. I find his construction page. I look at his construction page. I go through like a picture since I know they're getting divorced. So she probably hasn't like any of his recent pictures, but I found one from like 6 months ago when they were together. And I look through all of those fucking pictures to find out who liked it. And I see like an influencer style bitch. Check on her fucking page. She's in fucking Mexico. Like she said she was. Find her. Then I find him from scrolling back on her page. I was like, I am so fucking good at this. It's not even funny.
I know. And it's not even hard. Like, stalkers are like, their job is so easy now.
Dude, if we were CIA or fucking private investigators, we would be so good at it.
We could literally find out anything.
I could find out anything
Like,
about anybody.
I told Addie one time, I was like, I need to know who lives at this address. And she literally got back to me with the information. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because we saw someone's ex coming out of the house and we were like, we need to know who lives there.
It's so easy.
We're not creepy at all, though.
It's so fucking easy. Well, the creepiest thing we've ever done, which I shared in the last month's episode, is where we couldn't find somebody's name.
Oh, so we went to their
So we went to the high school library that they were at, and we knew, like, we might have known the last name, but we knew the name that he went by, but I wanted to find out what his actual real name was. So he's like 40 something at this point. So he went through his fucking high school yearbooks from like 2000.
We might be a little weird.
And we found out.
Yeah, we figured it out eventually.
We figured it out. Now we know who he is.
All right, guys. So that's it for tonight. We promise we're not going to leave you hanging anymore. We have a bunch of really great guests coming up.
Yeah. We got some. We're trying to get Claude's wrestler.
Yes, I'm very excited about that one.
Claude found the wrestler that he used to wrestle, and we're trying to get her on to question her and interview her about her wrestling skills.
Might take a lot of bribery.
So curious about that.
Yeah.
So we have the next couple of episodes coming up. We got some good stuff for you guys, and again, we apologize about the hiatus. I feel like
Not
our
like
lives,
anyone cares.
Not
Maybe
like
like
anybody
3
cares.
people.
I know, except for like Christina,
Shout out Christina.
Giovanna, and Frank. You know who you are. All right, guys. So before we close out, you know what time it is.
Confession Corner.
Bam, bam, bam. All right, guys, first confession. I have an obsession of smelling my balls all the time for some reason.
Nice.
Yeah. I just like the smell they produce. It's weird but pleasant to me for some reason. I mean,
Back to the hygiene conversation.
Yeah.
What are they are smelling like? If they're smelling like, I don't know, baby powder, fine. But like if they're smelling like sweaty gym socks.
you know what's funny? I always like, there was this hot guy, the one that you hit with the door. You know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
His balls always had like a funny smell, but I think it was because he was working all day and then we always like hooked up after work.
Like
But-
with like Funyuns? Or?
No, they weren't bad. I just remember they were very distinct. But I think it was like we like always hooked up after work.
I don't know why this just popped into my head, but do you ever like gone down there on someone and it's like you could taste that they sprayed like cologne?
Like Axe body spray
Yeah,
on their
it's like-
taint.
I would have taken the sweat over the chemicals in my mouth now.
You come up like
Yeah, like okay, you could have just showered.
you did not.
That's
need
what
to
that
do
reminded me of.
like
Sorry.
the dick wash with fucking
Yeah.
Lysol, dumbass. I mean, if you want to sniff your own balls, sniff your own balls.
Go for it. Okay, this one. I'm leaving my girlfriend of 3 years for a man. Call me a liar, cheater, asshole, whatever. I deserve it. I was in a committed relationship for 3 years with a woman I loved since we graduated high school 10 plus years ago. She's head over heels about me and wants to start a family together. 6 months ago, I met a man who changed my life. We would get hotel rooms and spend weekends away from our girlfriends. I would lie and say it's a work thing, but in reality, I was driving 10 minutes down the road to hook up with a guy who was also in a committed relationship. Initially, it was just sex, but now it turned into something more. I haven't been attracted to my girlfriend sexually or emotionally in months. I would lie and say I wasn't feeling well when we wanted to have sex. Maybe this is the worst decision I've ever made, but I'm risking it all for a chance to finally be happy. Should I do this?
If you're gonna be happy, abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah. And you know what? I know you don't want to break her heart, but
Why
if
stay in
you-
something?
she's gonna be devastated, angry, upset at first, but in the long run, she's gonna end up thanking you for not wasting her fucking time.
Right. I'd rather have someone break it off with me, be upset, and then move on than stay in a relationship with somebody that doesn't want to be in that relationship all the way and that's not fully invested.
Exactly, I agree.
So fucking do you. Be as happy as you are with whatever sex you want to be with.
Right.
Doesn't matter what other people think or what your current partner thinks. If you're not happy with them, end it and then go start it with somebody else.
Exactly. Agree.
I'm all about just whatever makes you happy. Even if it does break somebody's heart, relationships end. As long as you
Yeah.
don't cheat on them, you end it first.
Exactly, and
Go
be
for
upfront
it.
and honest. And
Yeah.
like maybe she'll look back and be like, I dodged a bullet because I really didn't care about him the way I thought I did. I don't know. You never know.
Crazy. Like you think you're in something and you think you're like life is over. Not life is over, but you think you're upset and like, you know, when things end. And then
No,
you meet-
sometimes you really do feel like your life is over because
Yeah.
I felt like that.
and then you meet somebody else and you're like, wow, like this is complete. This is what it's supposed to be.
Right.
Like this is actually what a relationship is supposed to be. And like you're like, thank God it didn't work out with that
Yeah,
other
and you're like, what the
person.
fuck was I thinking?
Right?
Yeah.
Yup. All right, guys, next confession. Okay, guys, seriously, I want to whip my grandpa's ass. What's your opinion? He's a fucking asshole. He mocks and laughs at me for everything I say. He told me I would never get a job the day after I graduated, and I carried that for 2 years. And during those 2 years, I had to help him with his stupid ass business at the swap meet where he never appreciated anything I did and intentionally humiliated me in front of customers. I remember when I eventually got work on my own a year ago, he got pissed about it and
This person's gonna be mad as hell that we're laughing. The grandpa's a savage.
Grandpa's a savage. Wait, let me go back. I remember when I eventually got work on my own a year ago. He got pissed about it, and ever since then, he's been treating me worse and has been constantly disrespectful. I want to break my foot up his ass and show him who's boss.
Yo, beat grandpa's ass.
Yo, fuck Grandpa.
Cremate his old ass.
Grandpa gonna get it.
Put him in the worst nursing home you could find and never visit him. Why is grandpa...
Your fingers hurt? Now you're gonna get lawn duty and your back's gonna hurt.
That's like my favorite part of that movie. And my mom's like, that always bothered me.
Shut up, Patty Mayo. And the best part is it's Ben Stiller saying it. So.
I know. That was the funniest part. She's like, I'm going to feed you in a nice warm glass and shut the fuck up. Oh my God. That's like one of my favorite movies.
It's such a good movie. I mean, I would just like cut Grandpa out of your life. You don't have to whoop his ass. But if you're gonna,
I would
whoop
be
his
like,
ass,
what do you care about this senile, bumbling old fuck? I would be like, fuck you, old man.
I'm picturing like this old ass 80-year-old.
Me too. Beat it, grandpa.
Like Deuce's Gramps.
Oh my God. All right, next one. I fucked a couch when I was 12.
I mean,
Cool. And I think that's the start of my sex addiction because I have no idea how that idea even came into my mind. And it's been on my mind a lot recently. I can't explain nor confirm the demons that took over me at the time, but I just need to get this off my chest. I just stuck it in between the couch cushions and put my phone with a point of view video on top. And even though it didn't feel good, I was still getting hard. And to this day, I've never sat on my grandma's couch after that. That's it. That's the confession. Thanks for letting us know.
I guess it's no different than a fleshlight.
True. Wait, this guy should go fuck the other dude's grandpa's couch.
Oh, how do you like that, Grandpa? Fuck your couch. That would actually be really fucking funny.
Right.
We can send them to each other.
All right.
I mean, whatever floats your boat. If you want to fuck a couch, fuck a couch. As
That
long as
guy
it's not
on
hurting
the
anybody.
TV fucked his car, the tailpipe.
Yeah, and then the other ones like had relationships with like blow up pool figures.
Yeah.
Like what are those little blow up pool things?
Yeah.
I saw one recently that was like his girlfriend was invisible. And he was like, and then it was like you saw the subtitles and it was like kisses air. So if you want to fuck a couch, There's been weirder.
At least it's there. You can see it.
And kisses air.
And you can feel it.
All right, guys. We will see you next week for regularly scheduled episodes. Thanks again for listening. And follow us on Instagram, Disappointed But Not Surprised. Facebook, Disappointed But Not Surprised Pod. Twitter and TikTok are Podcast DBNS.
Brr.
Disappointed but not surprised. Disappointed but not surprised. Disappointed but not surprised.